living in a new world order, a global takeover. Now let me show ya the reasons why you gotta look over your shoulder. A time when hearts are filled with disorder. We living in a new world order, a global takeover. Better take cover or fight back against the system. The choice is yours, be the resistance.
You may or may not know who Diane Reidy is, which is why she is worth pointing out. She received headlines when she went on the podium during the October 16th debt ceiling vote by the House of Representatives, the final vote on the debt deal to reopen the US government. What many do not know is that the media, along with factions of the US government, were involved in a cover-up as to what she said on the podium. The mainstream media reported her outburst as being religiously natured, and she was escorted out of the chamber and forced to receive a psychiatric evaluation, which led the media to claim she was suffering a mental breakdown of sorts. Let's take a closer look as to what really happened. First, let's listen to the mainstream media perspective.
Wednesday was a long day for lawmakers and everyone else who was working on Capitol Hill.
Well, one of the House stenographers reached her breaking point, apparently. She stormed the floor while members were voting. Take a look at the video. Banging the gavel there, it's hard to see and hear her with all that's going on, but she's at the center of the podium. This is where the president usually delivers the State of the Union address. She yelled, "Do not be deceived. God shall not be mocked," and quote, "A house divided cannot stand."
A congressional employee had to be removed after she began shouting. Lawmakers said she was yelling about the house being divided and the devil. Reidy was questioned by police. She was then taken to the hospital to be evaluated.
Following the outburst, the woman was interviewed by U.S. Capitol Police and then taken to a Washington area hospital for a mental health evaluation. Her name is Diane Reidy and is well known to House lawmakers as one of the stenographers who regularly works on the House of Representatives floor. We're told she walked up to the podium below the presiding officer and asked if the microphones were on. She then began saying things like, "Thus spoke the Lord," and "This is not the Lord's work."
The Constitution would not have been written by Freemasons. They go against God. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve two masters. Praise be to God, Lord Jesus Christ.
Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, who was presiding at the time, then hammered the gavel and tried to quiet her. Reidy then said something about the devil. Ros-Lehtinen called it sudden, confusing, and heartbreaking, and noted that this woman is typically a gentle soul. This was a moment late night on a big night here on Capitol Hill that genuinely seemed to stun lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
It seems as though she snapped. Yeah. I mean, it's quite sad.
There's a lot going on.
Most media sources left out the part about the Freemasons during their reports. However, upon a closer inspection, it soon becomes apparent that the audio clip of what Diane is saying is not actually what she really said. The media covered up what was really said during these moments to avoid the public from hearing it. The statements made by Diane that were played by media outlets actually came from outside the chambers while she was being detained and sent for psychiatric evaluation. Let's take a closer look.
This is not one nation under God. It never was. Had it been, it would not have been. No. It would not have been. Constitution would not have been written by Freemasons. They go against God. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve two masters. Praise be to God, Lord Jesus Christ.
Let's take another look at what mainstream media reported again. Notice that the audio has clearly been pasted over the video of Diane on the podium, disguising what she was really saying.
House stenographer getting up to the microphones. Let's take a listen to this first of all.
Sure.
No, it would not have been. Constitution would not have been written by Freemasons. They go against God. You cannot serve two masters. This is not one nation under God. It never was. Had it been, it would not have been. No, it would not have been. Constitution would not have been written by Freemasons. They go against God. You cannot serve two masters.
She said, "Thus spoke the Lord, and this is not the Lord's work," is what she said at the microphones.
Notice the audio quality change when she begins to speak, and the words covering her mouth movements, disguising what she's saying.
He will not be mocked. He will not be mocked. Don't touch me. He will not be mocked. The greatest deception here is this is not one nation under God. It never was. Had it been, it would not have been. No. It would not have been. The Constitution would not have been written by Freemasons. They go against God. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve two masters.
Now that we've reviewed the real source of the audio, let's take a look at the original C-SPAN video recording of the moments leading up to Diane's decision to protest at the podium. Keep in mind, this is the original video and audio from October 16th, 2013. As we've seen in previous videos, Diane is seated under the word remaining, underneath the NG. Right now she is speaking to somebody who's sitting beside her, and there's also a gentleman, a white-haired gentleman, standing in front of her. Here she gets up, and she says something to the gentleman at the desk behind her, and he kind of looks bewildered, and he's kind of concerned looking around going, what's going on? And here she takes to the podium. And this is what she actually says. I've increased the volume for you to hear it better. It's hard to determine what she is saying at the podium because of the background noise, but it could be that she's revealing some sort of fraudulent activity in regards to the vote. Or, because she was discussing Freemasonry, it could be that she's revealing or protesting against Freemasons in the government. This could be the reason why the federal government wanted to cover this video up so badly. Notice how the media places the audio clip over top of the sound from the chamber, disguising what she was saying.
No. It would not have been.
The pounding of the javelin isn't even in sequence with the audio. Horrible editing by the mainstream media. Now the question remains, why would the media place this audio portion over what was actually said? Now this is taking place after Diane was removed from the chamber. And notice everyone's reaction. There's a general feeling of concern. People look worried, especially the man behind sitting at the desk that she said something to. Actually, you'll notice that people come over to where he's seated afterwards and ask him a bunch of questions. Likely, they're probably concerned about what's going on. Here they come. There's people approaching the desk now, asking him what's going on. So the media definitely covered up what she was saying. And for the purposes, I'm not too sure. That's the question that really remains. Proper audio analysis might be able to determine what she said, but the microphone was never turned on for Diane, so it's very hard to hear what she was saying over top of all the background noise. Now this is proof right here that the media lies to us all the time, and this is just one example out of many where you have to keep your eye out for what the media is telling you and find the truth, doing your own research. Thanks for watching.
We living in a new world order, a global takeover. Now let me show ya the reasons why you gotta look over your shoulder. A time when hearts are filled with disorder. We living in a new world order, a global takeover. Better take cover or fight back against the system. The choice is yours, be the resistance.